It's on mute. That might be my fault. Let me see.
Nope. Well, here we go.
Oh, awesome. Hello.
I have a question not related to horses, related to Zoom.
On it.
I know how to turn it around, but then you're real big and the little square I'm trying to watch Patti through is little. Is there a way to switch it?
I think so. If you click on her box.
Oh, that made me big. Oh, you don't need to see that.
There you go. And it's not changing anything on my end. So
Oh, yes, and now you're little. Oh,
yeah,
yes.
there we
Okay.
go. All right, my job here is done.
Yep. Call it a day.
Call it a day. Throwing in the towel.
Okay.
So how have we been?
We've been good. How have you been?
Good. Very, very good. Mr. Poncho here is doing well.
Yes.
Oh, sweet boy. The what?
You've been practicing him staying out of my space. I know it doesn't look like it now.
Yeah. Good. Even though he is in your space already, I can see a difference in like he's avoiding your space a little bit with his body in a good way. Like his face is like giving you, well, there he goes. But I feel like last time he was kind of a little bit more pushy and pushing into you and walking around. So this is really great.
Good.
So good. Yeah, very good. Is the hay in the trailer?
Yes.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. He reminds me a little bit of my dog, in a great way. He seems very bright. So I think we have a bit of a shorter attention span with him though, where he picks up things faster, but then once he picks it up, he's like, okay, I did it. Why are we beating this into the ground? So what we're gonna do today, I'm gonna explain it here so there's no grass to kind of be distracting. So we're going to practice a little bit of the groundwork in the barn right here. And then we're going to walk over to the trailer as if it's no big deal. You are going to walk into it as if you do it all the time. And then you're just going to stand there and breathe and you do your thing and he'll figure out his. Right. So right now I'm going to have you back him up. Good. Remember, use that bottom of that lead rope a little bit too. Apply a little bit of pressure to his face by wiggling it. There you go. Very good. Add a little bit of vocal too, if that helps. Good. Good. And then plant your feet right there. Good. I like his politeness. Now take a couple steps back and tell him he can come towards you. Yep. Just stand there. Let him figure it out. Good. Yep. You don't even need a pull.
His demeanor is really pleasant.
Very good. Good, good, good. Good. So the only review I have of that one is we actually don't even need that much pressure on the lead rope. I want him to start thinking with his brain as opposed to the cue. So next time you back away from him, I want you to just let him process and say, oh, okay, I can walk towards mom now. Good. But don't let him start doing that nuzzly stuff to you. That's just impatient, pushy behavior. So back him up when he starts to do that.
Back.
More. Good.
Good. Good boy.
Good. Good. And let him stand there for a second. We're not going to invite him in yet. Good. Now I want you to soften your shoulders, take another step back without touching the lead, without putting any more pressure on the lead rope. So just take another step back and just think in your brain, I want him to walk towards me. I know it sounds weird, but I just want you to think it. Yeah, good. Encourage him there a little bit by taking one little step back with your chest a little round. Good. Good. And just wait to see what he does. Oh, Mr. ADD Poncho here. Just let him figure it out. He's about to walk towards you there. Yep, there.
Look at boy.
Very good. Good. So now we're just going to walk right on over to that trailer. Good. And so one more thing I also want to just point out. I love that you pet him and reward him, but actually the biggest reward you can give him is him just standing there with you. when we go to start touching their face and stuff, yes, it's very affectionate. It's very, very sweet. But when it comes to this, actually what he's looking for is just your safe presence. So when he walks towards you, especially in the trailer, I see this a lot with good intentions. People want to rub on their horse and be like, good job, but it actually transmits a little bit of nervous energy. So when we get to go in the trailer, I don't even want you to reach for him, touch him. He's just in there enjoying your space, and you're going to enjoy your space too. So once you're in there, you're going to really just notice the breath. Good. So let's go ahead and just walk on over to that trailer. Good. You just keep walking. Don't even look at him. Good. Don't pull. Don't pull. Now just turn and just hang out. And as long as he can reach the hay, you're just going to hang out.
What next you?
She's asking if he backs out, what should she do?
Let him.
She said, let him, Patti.
But do not change anything about your body language when he comes in. Do not crouch. Do not pet. Do not make it seem like he did anything. Good. And now I'm just going to have you really notice your breath. Good. Get his face a little bit straighter. Good. Let him sniff around. That's just fine. No big deal. You stand exactly as is.
Do you want her to move the hay? You said a second ago where he could reach the hay. Do you want it where when he's all the way in, he can reach the hay?
Yes. I want it when he's all the way in, he can start eating it on the ground. Good. So Patti, what I'm going to have you do right now is I want you to envision a bubble around you, the same bubble that you had with groundwork with him. And I just want you to realize that whatever's happening in your bubble is you, and whatever's happening outside of your bubble is out of your control. So however he reacts to this is totally on him and totally his own decisions. Very good. Do not reach back to him. Do not pet him. Let him think it through. You just continue to breathe. Good. You can take a little step back if you get closer to his hay. Good, but no pulling or changing anything about anything. Good. Yep. No big deal. This is the exact thing I wanted to see out of him today. Good. So again, Patti, just bringing your awareness back to self. It's okay if his head is in the trailer and he's looking around, as long as he's not looking for ways out. Good. So you're just going to continue to bring your awareness fully to your breath and just notice a softening of the shoulders. Good. And not changing your energy for good or bad. Good. Very good. So now that he's taking a rest here for a second, and we're just going to talk about as he walks in, I want you to also be very conscious, and I don't see you doing this, so I'm not saying that you are, but a lot of times when they start to walk in, we get a little bit like, ooh, yay, excited. And they actually feel that difference of energy, and they may not register that it's excitement, and they may think, oh no, something changed. And this is already a big change for them. So very good, just kind of keeping yourself in your bubble. Whatever he does, totally on him. You can, now that he's taken a little step back, you can kick that hay a little bit closer. I know I said the end of the trailer, but I forgot how long your trailer is. If you can reach it. Yeah, there you go. And then just kind of kick it away a little bit from you. Yeah, so he doesn't feel like he has to be with you in order to get it.
You forgot we also have cows.
Ah, perfect, Patty. Leave it right there. He can figure the rest out. You're just gonna stand back there and hang out in your bubble. Good, and even Patty, while you're in there, I want you to not even really look at him. I want you to just really be in your own space.
She said, don't look at him. Oh, Patty just said, he came to me.
Yep, great. Love that. Good, but just stand with him. Don't pet him. Don't make any big deal of it. Just let him know that when he stands there with you, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden things are going to start happening. That makes him feel safer, actually.
Yeah.
Good. And I know it's so tempting, but don't talk to him either because that they can hear the inflection in our voice.
No talking, Patty.
He is looking for a steady presence in you, and you're going to give that to him. Good. I know it's so tempting, but no petting.
She's trying real hard.
I know. And there's a very, very good reason for it, and I'll tell you in a moment. You are just going to stand like a brick wall. You are just his calm presence for him. No matter what, you do not get shaken. It's like the parent that's calm in every situation. You're always going to go to them.
Need to channel Trisha.
This is great. Good. Now I want you to actually walk out with him. And not pulling him. If he wants to walk out, he can, but also he doesn't have to if he doesn't want to. Good. Let's walk back in the barn for a second so we can talk without the grass.
Patty, that was really good. Yeah. 5
Very,
minutes.
very good. Yep.
5 minutes.
I just spent an hour and a half getting here and we did this all in 5 minutes.
We'll go back. Don't worry.
I know.
So we're going to talk about a few different things that just happened there. If you have anywhere to tie him or anywhere to put him on cross ties, you can do that. So that way you just don't have to. Oh my gosh, sorry. My phone.
So you, I see that you record these. Do you send these to Patty so she can watch it and see what's happening?
I don't, but great idea. I will. I'll send the last
Yeah.
one too.
Because you know, the last week I was trying to look at the little square. So I mean I could hear what you were saying and but it was hard for me to really see. Today I can see more because the horse and her are on the big screen. So but I thought, well, it might be fun for Patty to hear what you're saying and see what happens in the horse, because I don't think while she's doing it she can remember. I mean, you know, we can't remember everything, or she doesn't maybe see the change in the horse because she's trying to do what she's supposed to do.
Very, very good point. Yeah, no, great idea. I actually just pinned you guys that you'll be the only video, or not the only video, but you'll be the bigger video that you see on the Zoom too. So great idea. I will start sending it to you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and talk about all those things that we just did in 5 minutes that are years of research. So great job, because I know that it is so hard to just be there.
You being an idiot.
all we ever want to do when we're with our horses is love on them or tell them how good they're being. Like we kind of project our emotions onto them, which is so normal. Or a dog, right? Like if I had my dog do something great and I didn't pet her and reward her, she'd be like, well, F you. I'm never doing it again. Right? Like
I have a dog like that, kind of. So
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Like she wants me to think that she is the best thing in the world. Horses, on the other hand, actually find calmness and comfort in a steady, steady presence. So when we start to pet them, a lot of times what it is actually is we're starting to get uncomfortable. Not all the time, right? Like we can pet our horse when we're having fun, but we're starting to get a little bit uncomfortable and we're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they just did that. So I need to reach out and I need to pet them, or they're coming in my space. I need to acknowledge it. I need to do something. And they actually can feel that. And they notice too, like, here's a huge one with the trailer loading. They take one step in the trailer and we are like, oh my gosh, yay. And they feel this heightening of energy. And they're like, what the, sorry guys, I curse so much, especially when it's recorded, I gotta stop. They're like, what the heck is happening in here? Like, why is this all of a sudden, like, this is already a big deal to me. I'm already a little bit worried. And then their owner's energy goes haywire. And they're like, okay, so it is scary. Even if it's a good haywire, sometimes they can't tell the difference. Sometimes we can't tell the difference, right? Our excitement and anxiety actually are the same brain waves in the brain. So it's also a great tool to trick our anxiety into thinking that we're excited. I do that a lot with riders for horse shows and stuff like that, because we fire off the same neurons or, those cool things. So without going off into too much of a tangent, the reason that he did walk right on is because you were like, hey, I'm just here. I'm steady. He came in, he felt that steady energy, and then you didn't grab at him and he tested it. I don't know if you saw that. Good. I think you did. He pulled him back. Go ahead. Sorry.
Several times he reached into my space and touched me with his nose, and I was that what you is that what you saw, or what was he, how was he testing me?
That was part of it. That was him kind of making his approach, saying, I'm right here, here. And then you stayed really calm. And then he was like, okay, good, 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 good. We're all good. The big test I saw with him was he put his head up and back and acted like he was about to back up. And you just did not falter. You didn't care. You didn't make a big deal. And then he went, oh my God, I'm safe. I'm not going to get in trouble. My feet can move. I can move. And then if you noticed, it was always right after those tests that he took a bigger step forward. So and this is a great idea, Trisha, to send the video, because now you'll see it. Now that we've spoken about it, I'll send it to you and you'll be like, oh my God, yeah, there it is. He reaches his head up and back and then he goes right in. So really, really good work. So now what we're going to do is we are going to do it one more time for today, and then we'll build on from there. But what we're going to work on with going in there is I'm going to give you again that exercise. I'm going to give you a meditation exercise right now, right here. So that way you can feel what it feels like before involving the 1,000-pound animal into part of it. Our lovely, lovely heavy poncho. So you ladies can both partake. We are going to close our eyes for just a moment. And I just want you to notice where the breath is. It might be a little bit in the chest. I know mine is a little bit today. Maybe it's a little bit up in the head space, or maybe it's in the belly. Wherever it is, know that it is perfectly okay. And just accepting it and allowing it to fall wherever it wants to fall. And now I want you to watch that breath gently gain weight and almost turn into a lead bowling ball. And as it gains this weight with each inhale, I want you to allow your exhales to get a little bit longer. And as the exhales get a little bit longer, I want you to envision this breath planting into the lower abdomen. This breath also represents the energy. Now I invite you to envision a hectic windstorm around you. Everything is going haywire. There are trees flying around, not zen. But I want you to envision that the breath remains planted deep in the belly. You are unshakable. You have roots growing into the ground. You're flexible but strong and steady. It doesn't matter what's happening around you because the breath is firmly planted deep in the abdomen. Allowing the exhales to get a little bit longer. And the more this wind picks up around you, the steadier you get. Now gently, your calmness is emanating off of you. And you actually notice that the windstorm starts to die down because of your steadiness. The wind slows. The trees settle. The roof stops blowing. The Wizard of Oz characters disappear. And you're just fully present. The same energy you had during the storm, you have now during the calmness. You are unshakable. Mm. Very gently, whenever you're ready, begin to open the eyes and come back to the present moment. How do you guys feel?
Pretty steady.
Pretty steady. Good.
Heavy.
But we're in Missouri, not Kansas. Not too long ago, but
I know as I was going through it, I'm like, well, it's starting to sound like a twister.
about the storm, that's what I thought. I was like, oh, it's a tornado.
That's why I was like, I'm taking this a little bit too Wizard of Ozzy.
I don't know, not for me.
It's what it feels like working with horses, so I figured. Good. So the way I want us to bring this into the work, and the reason that I do these is because a lot of times horses have their own minds, they have their own brains. They're gonna, I think the perfect example is if you're ever on a trail ride, and what I can think of is if you're on like a really calm horse that you trust. So it can be any horse that you think of, but hopefully everybody's gotten the opportunity to be on a horse that they just fully trust. And they're like, oh, okay, I don't have to worry. And that horse lets out a little spook. And instead of being scared, you're like, haha, idiot. Like, you know, like it's just sometimes the ones that you really trust, you're like, oh, that was kind of cute. Like, you know, whatever. But then you feel the ones where it's like, oh, I don't really trust this one. This one did the same spook, but now I'm really, really tight and I'm really, really clenched. So we try to bring that energy of that trusting, I can be calm through it all. And then even the ones that we don't fully trust actually get calmer in that type of energy. So we can never prevent the reaction. Horses are going to have reactions in life, but we can kind of create this firm steadiness to it. Once we have their manners in check, like you've done a wonderful job with Pancho, I can already tell it's made a huge difference with him. Then we can just really focus on being there. And I think too, I have to think about this a lot with my students. My students will start to get upset or worked up in a show environment or wherever it may be. And I cannot then start to get anxious and worried. You know, you always have to kind of take the opposite stance of what somebody else is. So that's kind of our role with the horses. We just have to be like, okay, you're going to freak out. Me changing my energy is not going to do anything. Even if they're rearing, they're bucking, they're taking off. If we go into a panic, doesn't matter, right? So
Right.
I love to think about this ball kind of getting planted deep in the abdomen to always bring us back to, like, we kind of bring ourselves back. So that's kind of what I like to think about, especially with trailer loading. For some reason, or not for some reason, trailer loading is a whole different ball game. We all have emotions involved in trailer loading. Even the people 7 doors next door have a thing with our trailer loading for some reason. Like at a horse show, if somebody can get a horse in the trailer, it's like the mob shows up. People have a thing with it. I don't know why. It's pretty funny. We all do. So it is like 10 times more important just to be like, whew, okay, I'm in my bubble. Do you guys have any questions before I continue to rant and we go back on the trailer?
No.
I don't have any questions. This is good. This is really
Okay.
good.
Good. I love it. All right. How's Mr. Poncho looking? Was he relaxed during it?
Yeah, he's been really pretty chill.
Mhm.
Moving around a little bit. Nothing bad. Just
Yeah.
replanting.
Sometimes I like to notice, like, I wonder, none of us were, I don't know if you guys could hear him at all, but during meditations a lot, they'll start to lick and chew and they'll start to let out some big exhales. It's pretty cool. Even though, like, you know, it's so cool. Anyway, we can go ahead and grab Mr. Poncho there. He's he's a little, does he have a great work ethic?
Does he have a good work ethic, Patti?
For a period of time.
She says yes for a period of time.
I can definitely see he's smart. I'm telling you, it's the smart ones that are like, okay, I did what I needed to do.
Yeah.
Good. So go ahead and same exact deal as last time. I want you to just walk on that trailer like it's nothing. You're just walking into a new building, a new space. Good. And don't even worry about waiting for him. Yep.
Just what you thought would happen.
Yeah, good job. Good. Now just let him eat.
She said, let him eat, Patti.
If he wants to. He also might still have a little bit of too elevated emotions about the trailer, but you can kick that hay so he can see it. I can't tell if he's like even notices it, but
He's kind of looking at Patti like, what?
no. He's like, Mom, aren't I so great? Good. So now we're gonna go ahead. He can eat if he wants to. If he wants to look around, he can. If he wants to get off, he can. And you are going to guide yourself into the meditation I just gave you. So I'm going to have you close your eyes and I'm going to get quiet for about 5 minutes. If I see anything I need to interfere with, I absolutely will. But I just want you to take this moment in this little Zen box, we're reframing it. And I just want you to meditate. Good. Very gently coming back to the present moment. Taking a deep inhale and then just letting it all go. Oh,
That
he
was
is
good.
so funny.
That was really good. A car just went by and he looked, he put his ears up and was paying attention, but he's just so happy to be standing there with Patti.
That is
Happy as,
exact. Go ahead. What?
he's just happy as can be. He's clear up at the front of the trailer. Just hanging out with Patti.
Mm-hmm. So we'll go ahead. I did notice that too. A couple times he checked in on you, Patty, and he's like, I don't know why you like it so much in here, but okay, I guess I'll hang out with you. Let's go ahead and take him back in the barn and we'll talk about his homework moving forward and getting him comfortable with getting closed in and all those things. Oh, what good work. I'm so happy. You really did a great job with your homework to make that as easy as that just was.
Did you hear that, Patti? Patti, she said you did an awesome job with your homework.
Oh, good, good.
Right? That's exactly what you said, Gabby.
It is exactly what I said. You did. And that is why.
I put it in my version, but yes, that's exactly what she said.
And I also, that's why that was so easy just now, because of the work that you've put in. So that really, you deserve a lot of self pride on that one.
Try not to be happy or excited because I know when that's stressful.
Oh no, you can be happy.
You can be happy. You can be happy now too.
She's trying to be good with her emotions, she said. Of course, I said, no, now's the time. Now you're happy.
Now you can go do somersaults and front flips around the barn if you feel so called. You are more than welcome to celebrate now.
All right, good deal.
Yes. Yay. Yeah, let it all out.
You're incredible, Abby. You're just so insightful. That was amazing. Amazing. It's just amazing.
Thank you.
I did watch the video with Patti just so she can see how she just went right on with her and when she was calm. So she can see how she was and then see how her horse reacted. That'll be really good for her to see.
Yes, I love that idea of reviewing the video. Oh my gosh. So many things to unpack. It is so, you guys have no idea how hard it is for me to shut the hell up when you're standing up there. I'm like, just keep it together. So talk about regulating emotions. Like, I'm like sitting here like, keep it together. Such good work. So the things that I noted in his body, he still has a little bit of, he's a strong horse. Again, I've said a lot of things about him. He's great. He's a tough cookie, which makes him, I'm sure, great. Like you said, he still's got bucks in him, and he's got an honorary side, which awesome. I love the ones that do, have a little something to say about stuff. But it also, he feels a lot in the sense of like that dominance behavior we talked about last time. Night and day difference. I keep saying it, but seriously, night and day difference. But he also has this side of like self-protection. Like it's almost like he grew up on the streets. He's got like street smarts. Like he's like,
sure, he grew up in a herd,
Yeah, exactly.
So kid grew up in the streets.
Yeah, he's a smart dude. So he keeps his awareness about him for sure. So when he's in the trailer, he looks around, he's a little braced in his body because it's very against his nature to be somewhere and get stuck. But with your energy there and you being so calm, he really settled into it. So like huge, huge, huge for him. The reason I don't feel that he's ready for us to fully close it up and tie him up is because he still has that I'm going to get stuck in here body language. So when we confirm that too early and we go, yep, you are going to get stuck in here, that is where their like fight kicks in. Like he's got like a tough, I want to get out of here. All power to him. So the more that what I would love to see for your homework now is to keep him out of your personal space. Same thing, exactly what you've been doing, but now taking it and bringing him in the trailer and just meditating. And
Okay.
what I'll be looking for in his body language is a softening of his pull, a licking and chewing, something in his body to tell me that he's not ready to flee at any moment. That is when he goes in a few times like that and starts to learn to just stand there and take a break and it's happy, then you start to play around with the gate, kind of shutting or tying him or whatever it may be. And that's the part where we do hit a little bit of a, not plateau isn't the right word, but a little bit of resistance in the training. It's always when we start to involve the gate and the lead rope because it's confirming their worst fear. But when we do it in a way that really kind of creates this calmness throughout their body, which you will do quickly, it's going to become no big deal for him. And he's also going to learn to soften to pressure. So that's the last bit of the homework I want for you is to, does he know how to ground tie?
No, but he does wear hobbles. He will stand in hobbles.
Yeah.
So I could work on ground tying.
Ground tying would be great, but I'm going to have you do it in a very, very, what was your question?
Do you train them to ground tie with hobbles or not?
Mm-mm.
I know. Okay, talk to me
So
about
I
it.
don't really have anything against hobbles. I don't really have a big stance on it. Like I feel like some people are, super pro, super anti. The way I ground tie teach is it starts with how he's staying out of your space and he's learning to find relaxation by standing there. Then what it'll be is you're going to take it a step further when he starts. So you're going to say, whoa. And then as you're going to slowly let the lead rope drop just a little bit to kind of mimic it resting on the ground. And then you're going to take a circle and walk around him. And if he starts to move off, then you go and you back him up and you make him stand again. And then you're going to go walk over here. And it's just repeated work. It's just after you say, whoa, he stands. And if he doesn't, you back him up. And it's really like, again, horses that are quick like him, he'll pick it up so quickly and he'll just be like, oh, this is where I stand. Don't do it on grass because it'll just be your worst nightmare. He's a grass hound. Um,
Lives on a dry lot because he's an easy keeper.
yeah. But what that will turn into is he'll start to find comfort and solace in standing. I notice he has a bit of a resistance to standing still.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
It was hours and hours under saddle for him to stand just for a minute. It took forever to get him to stand quietly on him for a minute.
I
And
believe
he
it.
You
still,
stand still.
I don't.
Ever.
Yes, yeah.
Patty can't stand still either, so you could see how it could translate.
I'm sorry, Poncho. Dang it.
It's okay. You guys commiserate. You guys both understand it. I get it. Trust me. I'm like teaching people how to teach their horses to stand still, and then I'm walking around and I'm talking and I'm doing it right now. So you get it. So what that will translate to in the trailer is he'll start to find comfort in standing. Like the trailer for him is a little wonky and a little weird, like especially just now. He did a great job. He stood there, but it was resisting every instinct in his body. Like I saw him. Another reason that I keep doting on him though is he does have that brain power to be like, okay, this is what they want. And he really tries. So you're just going to help him find relaxation in standing. And so that will be maybe a lot of inner work, a lot of meditating, a lot of you starting to stand still with him, which will be great for both of you.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think for him, that was a great session and I don't want to pull it out too long. So I think if you feel good with it.
Yes.
Awesome. Do you have
So-
anything? Go ahead.
Yeah. Probably good to not do the trailer today again, but tomorrow. pick him out and do our obedience work and distance and bubble work, and then load him into the trailer.
Yes.
And no doors shut, no tie-in, no nothing.
Mhm.
Just go in, let me go out.
Yeah, I
stay
want you to
quiet.
start thinking about that like your meditation studio. Like you
Yeah.
go in there to go meditate.
Okay. Yes, good. Quiet place. Yeah, it's my
Yeah,
quiet
it's your
place.
quiet place, and he gets to join you, or if he doesn't, he doesn't. Um, the big thing too that I do notice about him is patience is a practice. So his attention span is a little shorter, which is fine. So doing things in shorter increments, but slowly building them up. So he is not a candidate for like one day we do a 2-hour training session and then the next day we don't do anything. And then in a week we do 1 hour, right? Some horses are great with that. Some horses are like, great. He needs like consistent but shorter bursts. So you walk into the trailer, it's the only thing you do that day. You stand there for 10 minutes. Amazing. Not saying he can't go for long rides on the same day or anything like that, but this work for him, teaching him how to stand still is just going to be bits and bits and slowly growing it and growing it and growing it.
Good.
And then eventually he'll just be like, I love to stand. Standing's the best thing ever. Mhm.
All right.
Any other questions?
Yes, I typically don't tie when I have a horse in the trailer.
Okay.
I just I leave the lead rope and the halter on, but I just tie it up so they can't step on it, so they're not tied solid.
Yeah.
Because I typically have a stock trailer, and so
Do you shut them in the front half so they don't have a lot of room to move around just in half of the trailer?
just half the trailer.
Mhm.
So
I'd be curious. Some are great with it. Some feel a little unease with
okay,
they actually don't like that they can move,
okay.
which
Huh.
sounds counterintuitive to what we were just talking about, because when the trailer is moving though, they feel all that movement and they don't really have a boundary to help them find their balance. So he might actually feel a lot more comfortable if you tied him a little bit tighter. So he didn't have as many options.
Okay. Cool.
Just a
Interesting.
thought.
We'll work on.
I do tie my horses. I have a stock trailer about like Patty's.
Mm-hmm.
I do tie mine, but then shut this, like tie them in the front part and shut the center gate.
Yeah.
So hadn't really thought about it as far as they might like to be tied.
That's
It
interesting.
kind of
Well,
gives them a little something like balance point. Like they feel like if they pull back, it's there. And then when they have all the movement of the trailer, sometimes if they can wobble themselves around, it just causes a little bit of anxiety for them. Some not. So yeah, it might be something to try, just tying him a little bit and then closing it exactly like Trisha said, because might make him feel more steady.
good. Huh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And obviously not like tying to the point where, he can't, he can't like move, but tying him just tight enough that if he does lean back a little bit, he feels supported. Oh my God. If you guys want to hear a nightmare really fast, so we have the last 2 minutes. I was driving behind a trailer a couple weeks ago, and there was a horse trying to jump out the back. It had gotten loose and was rearing out onto a highway.
Oh my gosh.
Not a
Out the
stock.
back.
It was they had the 2 top windows open in the back. It was like a really,
Mhm.
nice long, I would die to have this trailer, but of course, like disaster awaiting. And I had to pull up next to them, make them pull over. Like me and the lady both ran. It was just her trailering. We ran back, had to tie him up. He was bleeding from trying to jump out into the highway. Like he was about to jump out into the highway. It was
That would have
crazy.
been. She was so lucky here.
That we both were just like, this was an act of God. Like there's no other way. Like we just got so lucky that it happened to be at that moment. Like, oh my God, she was great.
Wow. I bet you're her little savior now. Seriously.
Oh, I felt so bad. That poor horse. But yeah, it was a disaster. But he had broke loose. It was like a whole thing. But anyway, I tell that story all the time. So like, it's crazy.
Ugh.
But
Okay.
that's your Zen anxiety I just gave you.
Yeah, you just undid everything. All the
No.
I gotta find my bubble again.
Yeah, I'm actually helping you. I'm throwing the windstorm at you and trying to make you find your zen.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns?
To pay you, I use the same link I still have from last time. Excellent.
Yeah. And I can resend it too if you need it.
I still have it.
Okay.
All right, good.
Awesome. All right. And then just let me know when you want. I think from here, I think 2 weeks should be good if you want to space it out a little bit more to see like the finishing up of it.
Sure, that'd be great.
Perfect. All right. You
All right.
ladies, find a good time and then just let me know.
Okay, well, I'll be in touch for sure.
Oh, such good work today.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.